Hi there. Welcome to Movement Yoga. I'm here with my wife, Kathy Cormier. She'll be practicing. I'll be talking. Thank you for joining us. We do this most every week on Facebook Live. Typically, it's been Thursday morning lately, 9 a.m. West Coast, 12 p.m. East Coast, and 5 p.m. Bristol, England time. Hello, Sam. Are you ready, Kathy?
I'm ready.
Come on up.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a warm day. Wow.
It's warm, yes. I got the window open, I got the fan on, so. All right, how are you this morning, Kathy?
I'm feeling great. Good morning.
Oh, good. All right. So, we'll do our usual routine here. Anything you want to focus on in particular?
I noticed I'm doing this again, the slouching.
The slouching. All right, so we'll do some posture checks as we go
Yeah,
through the
like
practice.
the thoracic spine. Is that the thoracic spine? What's this?
Well, the cervical spine is your neck spine. Thoracic spine is your rib spine.
Between your shoulders?
So, do you have ribs between your shoulders?
What's your spine between your shoulders?
That's probably the start of the cervical spine.
Oh.
I call it the origin of the neck. But wherever you have ribs, that's your cervical spine. So when the ribs stop, that becomes cervical spine. On the other end, where the ribs stop, that becomes your lumbar spine, your lower spine. So there you go.
Thank you.
All right, so let's start hands on hips, marching it from side to side, waking up our legs. Yeah, a little kick, a little karate kick. Treat your joints nicely, though. You know, it's early.
That's right. You don't want anything. Be very gentle.
Mm-hmm. Now staying grounded through 2 feet as we rock it from side to side. And then finding your center. Now rocking it front to back, lifting heels, lifting toes. Notice how your low belly engages to keep your balance. And then staying grounded through the toes, grounded through the heels as you rock it front to back. And then finding your center. An exercise in perception, circling the circumference of the feet. And then taking those circles the other way. And then back to center. Now making a choice, either keeping your feet just as they are, or narrowing your stance to challenge your balance. From our feet, finding our legs, from our legs, finding our spine. Relax shoulders long through all sides of the neck with a soft tuck of the chin. I'll invite you to bring your hands to your heart, a light press of your thumb against your sternum as you line up each finger. Starting our practice this morning, watching as our breath flows in and out. Arriving here on our yoga mats, ready for a 9 a.m. West Coast yoga practice. From a place of just watching your breath, I'll invite you to shape your breath as you find a long, slow breath in, followed by an equally long, slow breath out. As you breathe in, I'll invite you to bring the air to the top of your chest, the base of your belly, filling up each side waist, filling up both front and back planes of your body. As you breathe out, I'll encourage you to engage your abdominals, your core, as you draw the low belly in and up, concurrently lifting the kidneys in and out, squeezing a little more air out, most importantly with that core engagement on the exhalation, providing structural support for your low back as you move through these shapes and sequences, almost like putting on a weight belt from the inside. Now finding the Ujjayi breath, a go-to breath in many flow practices, slightly constricting the base of your throat, adding a slight sound and feel to your breath. And as we flow through our practice this morning, letting the slight sound and feel of your breath be a focus for your practice, the sound of which often compared to the sounds of the ocean as the waves wash in and out. Now finding the tongue loop, tip of the tongue to the hard palate just behind the teeth, keeping that tongue to hard palate connection throughout the practice, keeping our jaws relaxed and connecting front and back planes of our bodies. And finally, with your lips closed, adding a slight smile to your face, opening up the front of your throat so your breath has lots of room to circulate, refresh, and revitalize. Keeping all this, lifting the chin tall through the crown. If you closed your eyes, opening your eyes, I'll invite you to roll your hands over as you bring your hands by your side. Sun salutation A, we'll take it in pieces. Inhaling the arms out to the side, and then high to the sky. Exhaling, hands back down. 2 more times like this. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, arms down. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, arms down. I'll ask you to go sideways, Kathy. Sun cell half. Inhaling, arms out to the side, and then eye to the sky. On the exhale, leading with the heart, a big swan dive over. Take a breath to arc the back. You can use bricks or hands could cap the knees. On the exhale, arching the spine, either lowering the bricks or catching the back of the shin. Strong tuck of the chin. On the inhale, finding your neutral spine, arms out to the side and then overhead. On the exhale, standing tall. 2 more like this. Inhaling up. Exhaling over. Inhaling, creating length as we arc. Keeping that length as we arch and fold. On the inhale, leading with the back of the heart, finding that neutral spine, arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, hands by your side. 1 more to go here. Breathing in, lifting up. Exhaling, finding your forward fold. Inhaling, finding length. Keeping that length as we fold again. Inhaling, riding the breath up, arms out to the side and then overhead. On the exhale, standing tall. Sun Salutation A. The first one, I will not cue vinyasa. Inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead. On the exhale, finding your forward fold. Take a breath to create length. On the exhale, folding again, and then grounding down through the hands as you step 1 foot back, and then the other, finding your down dog. As we hold this first down dog of this practice, I'll invite you to walk your dog as you bend 1 leg deeply and then the other, grounding down through the opposite heel. Freely moving back and forth between the sides, just seeing how your body feels this morning, what feels tight, what feels right, what feels somewhere in between. Ooh, sorry, I kicked the camera. We don't want to do that. From a place of movement, moving back towards relative stillness, long arms, long legs, long spine, deep full breath. Despite the lack of overt movement, you're still breathing, your heart's still beating, your mind's still moving. And by focusing on your breath, finding a little more space between each breath, each beat of the heart, each thought, and breathing into that space. Long, smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. Tail end of that breath, bending your knees ever so slightly as you lift the tailbone just a little bit higher, finding a little more space in the low back, and then looking between the hands as you step or take a jump front. Take a breath to create length in your eye, keeping that length as you fold again. On the inhale, finding your neutral spine, arms out to the side and then overhead. On the exhale, standing tall. Second one, much like the first, Lakshya Vinyasa. Inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead. On the exhale, finding your forward fold. Take a breath to create length as you look up. Keeping that length as you cycle through vinyasa. Elbows soft as you find a push-up. Inhaling into a back bend, be it cobra or up dog, depending on whether the hips stay down or not. And then back over the toes. Feel free to use the knees as you find your down dog. And hold for 3 to 5 long, slow breaths. As we hold down dog, bringing your mind to the base of your throat. From that place, listening and feeling as your Ujjayi breath flows in. And as your Ujjayi breath flows out. Long, smooth Ujjayi breath in. Equally long, smooth Ujjayi breath out. Tail end of that breath, bending your knees ever so slightly as you lift the tailbone just a tad higher. And then looking between the hands as you either step or jump in front. Take a breath to create length. Keeping that length as you fold. On the inhale, finding your neutral spine, arms out to the side and then overhead. On the exhale, standing tall. Sun Sal B, the traditional second warm-up exercise. Inhaling into a chair, we'll do it flow style. Exhaling, taking it lower. On the inhale, rising on up, finding a back bend at the top, open heart, open throat. On the exhale, a big swan dive over. Take a breath to create length as we arc the back. Exhaling, arching the spine as we fold. And making your way back to down dog as you will. Either cycling through vinyasa or just stretching straight back. Welcome, Michael. Welcome, Amy. From down dog, flow style. Feet together. Right leg high for the three-legged dog. High in the left toes as we stretch out Achilles tendon and calf. And then looking between the hands, pitching that leg even higher. And then sweeping that right foot through. Spinning the left heel down, back leg long, back leg strong. Warrior one, arms out to the side and then overhead. On the exhale, riding the exhale back down to low lunge. As you grind down through the hands, spinning that back heel up. And then back to down dog as you will. From down dog, second side. Feet together, left leg high. High on the right toes. Looking between the hands, pitching that leg even higher. And then sweeping that left foot through, spinning the back heel down, arms out to the side and then overhead. Inhaling warrior one. And then riding the breath back down to low lunge. And from low lunge, back to down dog as you will. Take your time, find your flow, follow your breath. As we hold down dog, putting your mind in your hands, lots of strength in the hands, supporting those wrists, drawing the energy up from the arms into the shoulders, shoulders engaged, long through all sides of the neck, as you look back towards your navel. In down dog, long smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. Tail end of that breath, bending your knees ever so slightly as you lift the tailbone just a tad higher. And then looking between the hands as you step or take a jump front. Take a breath to create length. Keeping that length as you fold. On the inhale, stay low, coming back to your chair, knees over toes, hands overhead. Exhaling, taking it lower. On the inhale, rising on up, finding that back bend at the top. On the exhale, neutral spine. Hands by your side. I'll invite you to face camera again, Kathy. Hands find the heart. Long through all sides of the neck, the soft top of the chin. Watching as our breath flows in. Lifting the chin tall through the crown, I'll invite you to roll your hands over as we bring our hands by our side. Hands find the hips as we either step or jump our feet hip width apart. Letting an inhale grow the shoulders up, around, back, and down. Open heart, open throat. Hinging at the hips, leading with the heart as we fold. Peace sign fingers catch the big toes. Take a breath to create length. And then folding and holding, fingers to big toe pose. As we hold this shape, rocking your body weight front to back, back to front, waking up the back of your legs. And then letting a little more weight collect towards the toes. Staying grounded through the heels, lifting the hips higher, and folding a little deeper. From fingers to big toe pose, moving towards hands under feet pose. Take a breath to arc the back. And now bending the knees to bring the palms under the soles of the feet. As we step on the palms, rocking your body front to back, back to front, waking up the back of your legs. And then letting a little more weight collect towards the toes, grounded through the heels, lifting the hips higher, and folding a little bit. Exploring the diagonals of the back, left hand off to the left, right hand under left foot, and stepping on right hand as we stretch out right shoulder and hip. Now bending right leg any amount as we step on the hand harder. Straightening right leg, bending left leg as we step on the floor harder. Two relatively straight legs, right hand off to the right, left hand under right foot. And stepping on right hand as we stretch out right shoulder and hip. Now bending left leg any amount as we step on the hand harder. Straightening left leg, bending right leg as we step on the floor harder. Two relatively straight legs, two hands find the floor. Take a breath to set your neutral spine as we bring hands to hips. And hinging at the hips, keeping neutral spine as we rise on up. And then either stepping or jumping our feet together. I'll ask you to go sideways, Kathy. Sun salutation C. Unextended standing pose sequence. Inhaling into a chair. Exhaling, taking it lower, finding more strength in your legs. On the inhale, rising on up, finding that back bend at the top. On the exhale, a big swan dive over. Take a breath to create length as we arc the back. Arching the spine as we fold, and then grounding on down, and making your way back to down dog as you will. Either cycling through vinyasa, stretching straight back, or making another choice instead. If dragon dog's not your thing this morning, feeling free to hold your three-legged dog. Otherwise, flow style, feet together, right leg high, high on the left toes. Either hanging here for a few breaths, or finding your dragon dog, knee to nose to knee, exhaling. Inhaling, long leg up. Two more times, exhale it forward. Inhale it up. This third one will hold the knee front for the inhale. And then squeezing everything tight, tight, tight as we step that foot as far front as we can, spinning the back heel down, arms out to the side, and then overhead, warrior one. In warrior one, I'll invite you to bring hands back to the hips, either keeping the stance just as it is, or adjusting your stance. Most people tend to go short. You can always shift weight onto the front foot. Just scoot that back foot back. With our hands on our hips, we can steer our hips front. Four fingers find the tip of a thumb, circling our wrists. Taking those wrist circles the other way. Four fingers leave the tip of the thumb as thumbs find our shoulders, elbows wide to the side, circling one shoulder front and then the other. And then taking those asymmetrical shoulder rolls the other way. Bringing shoulders front and center and relaxing them down to our ribs. Finding a clasp of the fingers behind the back of the head. Pressing the head into the hands, open heart, open throat, elbows wide to the side. Keeping that as we stretch those hands high. From here with the breath, straightening the front leg without locking the knee, inhaling as we gather up the energy. Exhaling, cactus arms. Let's do that 8 times. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale. And exhale. Last 2 here. Last one, breathing in, breathing out, and holding warrior one legs with cactus arms. As the elbows move back, the hands come with. I'll invite you to ripple your fingers, enjoying the stretch. From here, moving towards our flamingo. Hands find the hips as we spin the back heel up for either a couple of steps or a big step in. Starting to balance on that right foot. Left thigh goes high with a point to the toe. A posture check as we balance on one foot. I'll invite you to take that left hand as we bring our ear over our shoulder. Ear and shoulder over hip. Ear, shoulder, hip over heel as we stand tall. From here, finding a standing half lotus, flexing the left foot, parking that left ankle on top of the thigh, sitting down in an invisible chair. Hip hands become heart hands. Heart hands become high hands as we sweep those hands out to the side and then high to the sky. Can you sit a little bit lower? Coming back up to our flamingo as hands find the hips. And now without dropping the thigh, taking a bow to the knee as you lengthen through the leg without dropping that thigh down. Point to the toe. And a little bit more forward. Thank you. Can you lift that thigh a little bit higher? Now flexing the foot as you sweep it on through, back to warrior one with your hands on your hips. Turning warrior one hips into warrior two hips as we steer the hips sideways, kicking the back foot in for a narrower stance. And then finding one long arm, looking out past those front fingers with a mixture of effort and ease. Warrior two. Painting rainbows, straightening the front leg without locking the knee, inhaling. Exhaling warrior two. We'll do 8 of these, breathing in. And breathing out. Inhale. And exhale. Can you get bigger? Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Let's do 2 more. Breathing in. Breathing out. And then breathing in and holding. Reaching up higher. Reaching down further. Finding more space between each rib with every breath. As we hold the reverse warrior. As we hold the shape, mimicking your ribs with your fingers. As you spread those fingers wide. Can you spread those fingers even wider? Turning our reverse warrior back into warrior two. Transitioning to our triangle. Thumb and forefinger finds crease of hip and base of rib. Looking deep in that crease and lengthen those ribs. Grounding bottom hand down. Thumb in line with shin bone as we wrap the calf. Some might choose to grab the big toe. Others of us will choose to work bricks outside the calf. Once we have our foundation, that top hand, that left hand can rotate our ribs. Opening up that shoulder. Stretching that hand high to the sky. Choosing either to look down, off to the side, or up to the sky. As we hold the shape, arm and shoulder travel together. The more that arm moves back, the more that shoulder opens up. As we move the shoulder blade back and down onto the spine. Long, smooth breaths in. Long, smooth breaths out. Turning the triangle on 2 feet into the triangle on 1, moving towards our half moon. Top hand finds the hip. We can soften that front knee. Either a couple of steps or a big step in. Setting the base, right hand off to the right, with or without a brick. Once we have hand and foot, the back foot gets light. We can flex that back foot. Using that top hand, that left hand to rotate your ribs. Opening up shoulder, stretching high to the sky for the half moon. I'm going to adjust the camera here. And Kathy has a beautiful half moon here, and she's perfectly in the frame. Welcome, Poran. Coming down from the half moon easily, top hand finds the hip. We can soften the front knee. Landing that back foot, big step back. Once 2 feet are down, shifting weight into the feet. As we come back to warrior two. From warrior two, I'll suggest a big windmill of the arms as we spin that back heel up, finding our low lunge. And from low lunge, back to down dog, as you will. Again, take your time, find your flow. All right, let's work in a new exercise here, Kathy. I'll try to explain it. If I need a demo, I'll demo. But I think we can figure it out. So we're going to move between down dog, just listen for a sec, and up dog. The up dog is going to keep the toes tucked, so you're not going to flip onto the tops of the toes.
Oh, like the, what is it, the Tibetans?
It's a Tibetan exercise.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm not going to cue it specifically, but why don't you do that 5 or 6 times. You come forward to your up dog with the toes tucked, let the hips sag, and then navel to spine as you lift the hips high back to down dog. And just back and forth between the shape, and breathe it forward. You can exhale it back. You could work this exercise fast, you could work this exercise slow. Really up to you. So bringing it forward, letting those hips sag. Navel to spine as you lift the hips high. Let's do 3 more. Breathing it forward. And exhale it back. Breathing it forward. Navel to spine as you stretch it on back. Let's do 1 more here. Breathing it forward and holding the up dog with tucked toes. And then navel to spine as you lift the hips high. Back to your down dog. And holding for another couple of breaths. Second side, feet together. Left leg high for the 3-legged dog. Either hanging out here or finding your dragon dog. Knee to nose to knee, shoulders over wrists. And inhale it up. 2 more times. Exhale it forward. Inhale it up. Exhale it forward and hold. And then on that next, so inhale, and on that next exhale, squeezing everything tight as you step that foot as far front as you can, spinning the back heel down, arms out to the side, and then overhead. Warrior 1. I'll invite you to bring hands back to the hips, taking the time to adjust your stance. Many of us go short, so the way to adjust that is to shift weight onto the front foot as you scoot the back foot back. If you're feeling a little overextended, you could always shorten your stance. You want to keep the knee over the heel and in line with the toes. Hands on hips, we can steer our hips front hip back, back hip front. We're not going to get there, but you want to feel that energetic action. 4 fingers find the tip of our thumb, stretching and circling our wrists. Everything supple. Taking those wrist circles the other way. 4 fingers leave the tips of the thumb. As thumbs find the shoulders, elbows wide to the side. 1 shoulder forward and then the other. Warming up our upper back. And then taking those circles the other way. Steering shoulders front and center and letting them relax onto our ribs. Walking the fingers one over as we find the other clasp of the fingers behind the back of the head. Pressing the head into the hands, open heart, open throat. Elbows wide to the side. Keeping that width across heart and throat chakra as we stretch those hands high. From here with the breath, gathering up the energy, straightening that front leg without locking the knee, inhaling. Exhaling cactus arms, 8 times, breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Breathing in. Breathing out. Let's do 1 more. Breathing in. Breathing out and holding warrior 1 with cactus arms. The elbows move back. The hands come with. Rippling those fingers. Enjoying the stretch. Moving towards our flamingo. Hands find the hips as we spin the back heel up. Either 1 big step or a couple of steps in. Balancing on the left foot as the right thigh goes high with a point to the toe. Either keeping hands on hips or working the posture check. Left hand touches the ear. Ear touches the shoulder over shoulder. Ear and shoulder over hip. Ear, shoulder, hip over heel as we stand tall on 1 leg. Can you lift that right leg even higher? No, not yet. From here, moving towards our standing half lotus, flexing the foot as we bring ankle on top of the thigh. Sitting down in an invisible chair. Hip hands become heart hands. Heart hands become high hands, sweeping them out to the side. Yeah, a little more difficult. And then high to the sky. As we hold the shape, can you sit lower? Coming back upright, high hands become hip hands. Coming back to our flamingo. Taking a bow to the knee, and then lengthening through that leg without dropping the thigh. Can you lift that thigh a little higher? Now flexing the foot and sweeping on through. Back to warrior one with our hands on our hips. Turning warrior one hips into warrior two hips as we steer the hips sideways. Kicking the back foot in for a narrower stance. And then finding one long arm. Looking out past those front fingers with a steady, yet relaxed gaze. From here, painting rainbows, straightening the front leg without locking the knee. Exhaling back to warrior two, back and forth between the two places. Can you go bigger? Breathing in and breathing out.
How about falling?
Breathing in. It's a question. And out. You can always answer no. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale and exhale. Let's do two more. Breathing in, breathing out. Last one, holding that reverse warrior. Reaching up higher, reaching down further, finding more space between each rib. And spreading those fingers wide, mimicking those ribs as we find more space in our fingers or in our hands. Can you spread those fingers wider? Can you breathe a little bit deeper? Turning our reverse warrior back into warrior two. Transitioning to our triangle. Thumb and forefinger finds crease of hip and base of rib. Deepening that crease, lengthening those ribs. Ground and bottom hand down, thumb in line with shin bone as we wrap the calf. We could work the big toe. We might also work bricks outside the calf. Once we have our foundation, taking that top hand, that right hand to rotate the ribs. Opening up shoulder, stretching high to the sky. Choosing either to look down, off to the side, or up to the sky. Welcome, Renee. As we hold the shape with every breath in, our diaphragm stretches down towards our navel as we draw energy into our lungs, or air and energy. With every breath out, the diaphragm relaxes and domes up to the heart as the air moves out of our lungs. Can you get bigger in the shape with every exhalation? Connecting with the pulsation of the breath. From the triangle on 2 feet, moving towards half moon, triangle on 1. Top hand finds the hip as we soften the front knee. Either one big step or a couple of steps in. Take your time, set your base. Left hand off to the left. Once you have hand and foot, back foot gets lifted. Now flexing that back foot as you stretch long through the heel and draw the toes towards the face.
I'm disembodied.
Let me adjust you in the frame too. Top hand can open up those ribs, opening up that shoulder, and then stretching high to the sky. Again, with every breath in, gathering energy in your belly center. Every breath out from that center, finding more space in the shape from the inside out. Long, smooth breaths in. Equally long, smooth breaths out. Coming down easefully, top hand finds the hip. We can soften the front knee. Big step back. Once 2 feet are down, we can come back to our warrior two. One long arm, looking out past those front fingers with that mixture of effort and ease. From here, a big windmill of the arms as we stretch out our shoulders, finding low lunge. And from low lunge, back to down dog as you will. Either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. As we hold down dog, coming back to that even breath. Long, smooth breaths in. Equally long, smooth breaths out. Long, smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. Tail end of that breath, bending your knees ever so slightly as you lift the tailbone just a little bit higher. And then looking between the hands as you step. Or take a jump to the front of your mat. Take a breath to create length when you arrive, arcing the back. On the exhale, arching the spine as you fold. On the inhale, stay low, finding your neutral spine, arms out to the side and then overhead. Chair pose. On the exhale, sitting a little bit lower. On the inhale, rising on up, finding a back bend at the top, open heart, open throat. On the exhale, neutral spine, hands by your side. I'll invite you to face camera, Kathy. Bringing hands to your heart. This time isometrically engaging. So press the palms together, elbows wide, shoulders engaged. A tuck of the tail, a tuck of the chin, connecting with the strength of your center. Lifting the chin tall through the crown. I'll invite you to roll your hands over as you bring your hands by your side. Feet hip width apart. You can step or jump them there. I'll invite you to bring your hands to your back, the fingers face down, and just circling your hips. Taking those hip circles the other way. Now coming back center, tracing a figure 8 with those hips. Doesn't have to be perfect by any means. Keep it loose, keep it liquid. And then taking that figure 8 the other way. Coming back center. I'll invite Facebook switches things around, so listen carefully. If you do the other side, no worries. I'll invite you to cross left leg over right. Arms out to the side and then overhead, inhale. On the exhale, finding a forward fold. And take your time. Once 2 hands are down, take a breath to arc the back. You could always use bricks. And then on the exhale, folding again. Relax neck, heavy, heavy head. As we hold the cross-legged forward fold, any amount, circling those hips. Inviting more flow into those hips. And then circling those hips the other way. At home, there's no need to do anything for the purposes of this class here online. Finding a low lunge, Kathy, as you carefully unwind the legs, and then Kathy's going to go sideways, so it makes better film. Awesome. So you're in your low lunge. From here, keeping back heel lifted, bringing hands to hips as we start to move towards high crescent lunge, finding our balance. And then arms out to the side and high to the sky. From here, finding a twist. Right hand finds right hip. That's it, yeah. We're going to reach.
Left hand.
What you should have, you actually, so we messed it up a little bit. So I crossed left leg over,
so I need to
and then I step left leg back, so I should have right foot front, left leg back. Yeah. So purposely try to cue it like that. So right hand finds right hip, that's that front hip. You're going to find length on the left side, reaching up. Now reaching out as you find a twist, starting with the wrist. We can slide to the elbow, finding prayer hands. Either looking down to the ground, off to the side, or up past that top elbow with a steady yet relaxed gaze.
I think my head is.
Let me try to get you back in camera. We don't want to lose that beautiful face of yours. No, you're there. Not too bad. Awesome. We're twisting, we're balancing, still finding a deep full breath. From low lunge from the twist, finding low lunge as we frame front foot with both hands. And from low lunge, back to down dog as you will. Either cycling through vinyasa, stretching straight back, or making another choice instead. Always balancing your effort with your ease. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. Tail end of that breath, bending your knees ever so slightly as you look between the hands, and either stepping or taking a jump to the front of your mat. Take a breath to create length when you arrive. Keeping that length as you flow. On the inhale, stay low, finding your chair, knees over toes, hands over head. Exhaling, taking it lower. On the inhale, rising on up, finding that back bend at the top. On the exhale, neutral spine. I'll ask you to face camera. Hands find the heart. This time, intertwining the fingers, keeping the heels of the hands together, isometrically engaging as we try to pull those fingers apart. Shoulders engaged. A tuck of the tail, a tuck of the chin, connecting with the strength of your center. Lifting the chin tall through the crown, releasing the fingers as we roll our hands over, bringing hands by our side. So I'm going to do it right with you here. We're going to cross right leg over left. Arms out to the side and then overhead. Inhale. On the exhale, finding your forward fold. Feel free to grab those bricks. Take a breath to arc the back as you look up. Exhaling, arching the spine as you fold and hold. As we hold the cross-legged forward fold, any amount, circling those hips. And then taking those hip circles the other way, inviting more flow into those hips. So, at home, you just listen to my words, still facing the camera. Kathy's going to turn sideways, so she's going to unwind her legs, finding low lunge. Left foot should be front, right foot should be back. Keeping that back heel lifted, we're going to move towards high crescent lunge. Hands find the hips, finding your balance. Keeping that back heel lifted, sweeping arms through the hips first. Yeah, take the time. Once you have that balance from that foundation, you always want to set the foundation. Arms out to the side, and then high to the sky. So we tend to want to get to the next place. We don't want to miss all the wonderful points in between. From our high crescent lunge, lifting back heel high as we bring that back hip forward. Can you lift that heel even higher? From here, left hand finds left hip. You find length on the right side, reaching up, up, up. And then reaching out, 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 moving towards our twist. Starting with the wrist, sliding to the elbow, finding prayer hands. Pressing those palms together, feeling the shoulder blades moving back and down onto the spine. A little lift of the chin as we open up the base of the throat. Either looking down off to the side or up past that top elbow with a steady yet relaxed gaze. We're twisted, we're balancing, still finding those long, smooth breaths in. Followed by an equally long, smooth breath out. Can you breathe even deeper? From the twist, coming to low lunge as hands easily frame that front foot. From low lunge, back to down dog, as you will. Either cycling through vinyasa or just stretching straight back. Yogi's choice. From down dog, I'll invite you to land the knees lightly as you find a child's pose with a stack of soft fists. Letting your forehead rest on that stack as you gently rock your hips from side to side. Switching the stack of the fists, keep rocking side to side, letting that press of the forehead into the fists relax the back of the head, the neck, and the shoulders. Keep rocking those hips from side to side. Now bringing your feet off to one side and finding a long, slow roll down onto your back. So finding the top of the mat, long arms, long legs, tall spine. Now finding C-spine as you tuck tail and chin. And slowly roll yourself down, staying grounded through those heels. Slow, 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 as if laying each vertebrae down, as if each vertebrae were a pearl on a cushion. Can you go slower? When we get down, finding long spine, arms overhead, the low back lifts. Now pressing your back into the mat as you walk your feet in and bring hands by your hips. From here, arms go out to a T, the palms face down. Make sure you're in frame here. Drawing two knees in, and then pressing your back strongly into the mat as you circle your sacrum. Feeling your core engage. Taking those circles the other way. Now coming back center, legs high to the sky as you point the toes. And then circling those sacrum as you press your back strongly into the mat. And then taking those circles the other way. Coming back to tabletop legs. We're going to churn the stomach, keeping your shoulders just as they are. Knees go one way and then the other. So you keep the head just as it is. It's all about the core. Back and forth between the two sides, staying firmly grounded through both shoulders. Now we're either working tabletop legs or lengthening that top leg as you point a toe when you go to one side. So it's your top leg. And you want to point the toe. There you go. And back and forth between the sides. Really strongly point the toes. There you go. Nice. Either working one long leg or finding your windshield wiper legs, two long legs as you point those toes. Shoulders stay just as they are. It's all about low side waist. Can you go lower? Coordinating with the breath, we can inhale through center and exhale into the hole. Next time you're on one side or the other, holding that shape, far shoulder stays heavy. Can you go lower? Back through center, second side, holding the shape. Can you go lower? And then back to center. Tabletop legs now grounding down through 2 feet. Fingers on either side of the navel for a big breath in through the nose. Letting it sigh out through the mouth. Breath in through the nose. Letting it slip out through pursed lips. And then breathing in and out through your nose. From here, I'll invite you to find your Shavasana. Long through one leg. Long through the other. Arms out to the side. The palms face up. Scooting the head back as you flatten your shoulders. Doing whatever else feels right and good for you. Tip of the tongue now neutral in your mouth. A slight part to your lips, but still breathing in and out through your nose. At home, feeling free to hold your Shavasana as long as you'd like. Some say 20 minutes minimum to get the full benefits of the shape. For the purposes of this class, I'm going to ring these yoga bells 3 times. I'll invite you to move your mind before you move your body. Bringing your attention back to your breath, watching as it flows in and out, like watching clouds drift by in the sky. From a place of just watching your breath, shaping your breath, finding a long, slow breath in, followed by a longer, slower breath out, finding a more relaxing breath, more easeful breath with longer, slower exhalations. Keeping this more easeful breath, inviting more flow into your body as you gently ripple fingers and toes. Inviting that flow in towards center as we gently circle our wrists and our ankles. A little shimmy of the shoulders, a little shimmy of the hips, whatever feels right and good for you. Now pressing your back strongly into the mat as you draw one knee in, the other knee follows, hands cap the knees. Using your thighs to massage your low belly as we gently lift and lower the low back and hips. This pose is awesome for digestion as we digest the fruits of our practice. Keeping the knees close in, reaching back with a hand to lift and tuck the chin, keeping the neck relaxed. Hand comes back to the knee or the shin. We can start to rock ourselves forward to back, back to front, massaging our spine. You also can catch the back of the thighs. And then rocking on up, finding a cross-legged sit. I'll invite you to face camera cap. Hands find the knees, pulling back with the hands to settle your shoulders. Pressing down on sits bones to lift the kidneys in and up. Long through all sides of the neck, a soft tuck of the chin without shortening that neck. One hand onto the heart, the other hand on top. Ending our practice as we started, watching as our breath flows in and out. From this place of breath awareness, I invite you to bow as you thank yourself for practicing yoga. And as we offer our practice out to each other and to the world, the light within us honors and respects the light within you. And in this light, we are one. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you at home for practicing with us.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Kathy, for practicing with me.
Thank you, Mark.
And thank you, everyone that tuned in, and people that might tune in later on. It's recorded. Anyway, namaste. Have a nice day. We'll see you all real soon. Thank you so much.